Thank you for coming to the groundbreaking of the historic cotton mill. My name is Nicole Schell, and I'm the City Planner and Preservation Coordinator for the City of Madison. To begin today's ceremony, I'd like to take a moment to honor Mayor Damon Welch. When I met Damon 3 years ago, I instantly noticed his love for this community. Damon took his position as mayor so seriously that he helped out wherever he was needed. During rainstorms, you may find him in the street cleaning gutters. And during a fire, you may find him alongside the firefighters. And today, he would have been here smiling ear to ear because the Cotton Mill project was a project he'd worked on since he took office. And now it is finally coming to fruition. Damon met with the previous owners who tried to make a hotel project work, but the timing wasn't right. He talked up with other developers and architects who told him the only project that would work in this building was a subsidized housing project. But through it all, Damon continued to push for the best project for this city, a hotel and meeting center. This amazing team came together 2 years ago, and we made it happen. Without Damon's leadership, passion, and dedication, this project would not have happened. Please join me in a moment of silence in honor of Mayor Damon Welch. While Damon isn't physically here with us today, we honor his memory by dedicating a shovel to him during our official turning of the soil. I know he is looking down upon this ceremony with excitement and would have been enthusiastically awaiting this project's completion. We will continue with that same passion in his honor. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge a few special members in our audience, beginning with our City Council members. Jan Beatrice, David Alcorn, Derma Smith, Katie Rampey, Daryl Henderson, Dan Datillo, and Laura Hodges. Here to represent the Redevelopment Commission is Carrie Strauss. Jim Braun and Mike Pittman are here representing the Economic Development Commission. Without these three governing bodies, the funding for this project would not have been possible. I would also like to thank the Indiana Economic Development Corporation's Director of Southeast Region, Trevor Lane, Visit Madison Director, Tawana Thomas, Chamber Director, Lindsay Blues, the County Commissioners, especially David Bramer, who's with us today, and the County Council for their support on this project. And furthermore, a special thank you to my partners, my coworkers, and my friends who have worked along my side under Damon's leadership, Andrew Forrester, Bob Cook, and JCIDC's Director, Matt Worth, because we really made this project possible under Damon's leadership. A little over 2 years ago, Ron Bateman moved to Madison with his wife, Marlene, with the intention of retiring from a career in project development from Alaska. A few months after moving and beginning work on their own home, Ron came into my office to ask about the large boarded-up property on the east end of town and what was going on with it. After finding out the cotton mill was for sale and yet that another development was looking that it was going to fall through the cracks, Ron called up his partners, John McGrew and Glenn Gellert, and began to look to see if they can make a project work. Today it is my honor to say, Ron, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to postpone your retirement. And John, Glenn, thank you. At this time, I would like to invite Ron Bateman to say a few words.
Mayor Welch twisted my arm to get me here. He knows that I would prefer to be back behind the building full of weeds. But he asked me to tell my story and how we became involved in this project. Nicole has told you that we moved here a couple of years ago from Alaska, thinking we'd retire. In Alaska, I had a small architecture firm and an interest in a construction company and had participated in a number of development projects with John and Glenn, who are here today. most of that was market rate housing and affordable housing, large projects involving several acres of land and complete project development. But we're not, there's more to the story. I'm an Indiana boy. My grandparents on both sides lived in southern Indiana. My dad's people were from Ramsey. My mom's people were from south of Greensburg. They were farmers. And one of my great-grandfathers was Roswell Johnson, who came from Virginia to Ripley County and settled on a creek just east of Versailles, became the first treasurer of Ripley County, and has the township of Johnson Township is named after him. So I have a little bit of history here. What you might also not know is that as a kid I came to Madison on occasion and thought that it was the prettiest town in Indiana. And then if a man was destined to live in Indiana, this is just about as good as it gets. So Marlene agreed to move to Madison with me. And being suckers for a good project, we bought the worst house in town. One of the things that impressed me about Madison when we got here was the love that the people in this town have for the town. Evidence of that was the high level of volunteerism that you saw all over town. I began to think, what could I do? And it occurred to me that this kind of project fits my life experience, and maybe this crazy project is something that could happen. So we began to look at it. And of course I was thinking in terms of housing, which is what my experience was to this point. But Nicole said, no. The mayor said, no, we need a hotel. And I thought, well, I don't know much about hotels. Let's see how far we get. And if it's absolutely impossible, maybe they'll let us do housing. But to my surprise, and it seems almost like a miracle, we are here today with a hotel project queued up. There are a number of people, a number of steps that were involved in this. So the team is not really a team of people, it's a herd. There are so many players in this project, it's hard to imagine. Some of the biggest ones were the Indiana Department of Economic Development, which gave us a large grant, which set the city up to use its TIF districts for the first time. Then there's a federal tax credit. All of these pieces complicated and taking a lot of time and effort. You may not realize we've been working to get to this point for 2 years. And a lot of the times we thought we were done, but the mayor, he was convinced we could do this if we, and he often was an encouraging word along the way. And there are a lot of people to thank. Of course, John and Glenn, my partners from Alaska, who we worked with up there for a number of years. They bring something unique to this project, and that is the financial expertise, the knowledge of how tax credits work, contacts in a larger banking community and a tax credit accounting community that could help us make this project more than just a developer's dream, but a reality. That's an important part of it, and a skill that I don't have. And then there was Marty Richardson, who's, I believe, is here from Old National Bank. She and Billy Wade from the Kentucky Bankers Association have stepped up. Marty came to town at the suggestion of Camille Fife and said, oh, we like it. And she's been steady with us ever since in terms of selling the tax credits, helping us arrange the financing for construction and long-term financing. And so we owe, actually we owe Camille a hand too. And of course, no project ever gets started without a good architect, so we need to mention Ratio, and we need to mention Ratio's favorite son, Tony Steinhardt, who had the influence at Ratio to cause them to agree to work with us for free while we tried to figure out how to get this project started. And they They did a lot of work for us and for Madison on their own nickel, and we recognize it. And then, of course, there's Mayor Welch and his team, Nicole, who you met, Andrew Forrester, Matt Worth at the Jefferson County Economic Development Group, and one character, Rick Berry, and one character that you all know. He resists a hug, but if you see him, give him a hug, because Bob Cook drove home the financial side of this. He was the guy who pioneered how we're going to do the TIF work, and how all the intricacies of the legal arrangement with the city and attorneys and accountants. So, as much as anyone, this is Bob Cook's project, and if you see him and he looks like he's in a good mood, give him a hug, because we really appreciated Bob's help with this. And finally, of course, the mayor. The mayor was totally in our corner all the way. There were times when I was angry with the sellers of the property, and I'd go and say, Mayor, you need to take a corner out of these guys' desk. He'd say, well, let me talk to him. And then pretty soon I'd get a copy of the kindest email you could imagine, telling the sellers how important this project is to Madison, and how we're all sure they're going to do the right thing. So thank you, Mayor, and thanks to anyone else who I may have failed to mention. It's a huge effort, lots of people involved, very complicated project, but we're here today to let her rip. So let's do it, all right?
Thank you, Ron. I would like now to introduce Vince Dora of Dora Hospitality to speak on behalf of his organization and Marriott International.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having us here. Wait a minute. She turned it off on me. Maybe that's a hint.
I wasn't going to do that.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having us here. I'm part of Dora Hospitality. We're based in Indianapolis, but we're actually a third-generation hotel management and ownership company, and we also have deep roots in the south of Indiana. My grandpa started the hotel business for our family in Vincennes, and he actually did a very similar project where he bought an old show horse stable and converted horse stalls into guest rooms. So when John and Glenn and Ron reached out to us and asked if we were interested in helping them out with this project, it really grabbed our attention right away. Allowed me to get back to the roots of what we do and be a good hotelier in a small community. So couldn't be more thrilled to be here. And with the help of my team and Ron and John and Glenn, we were able to convince Marriott to allow us to get a Fairfield Inn franchise attached to the building, which will really help boost the engine behind this hotel and the economy. So couldn't be more happy again to be here, and thank you all for the support. I can't believe the turnout today. It's fantastic, and we just can't wait to officially break ground on this and get started. So thanks.
Thank you, Vince. Now, Dan Datillo will say a few remarks, followed by Andrew Forrester.
Good afternoon. I'm honored to be here for the groundbreaking ceremony of this historic project. The Cotton Mill Hotel project will change the riverfront of downtown Madison in an amazing way. In the near future, visitors will have an opportunity to stay in a beautiful boutique hotel near many of the amenities that are available of our unique city. Businesses, not-for-profit groups, and philanthropic organizations will have a large meeting space to hold important conferences. And soon Madison will have another sparkling jewel to boast about in its already ornate crown. It should be noted that there has been an incredible amount of time and effort by multiple people to make this project come to fruition. It took 3 amazing investors with a dream to start the ball rolling. The conversation moved to innumerable meetings with local officials and state entities. And finally, a group of financial companies and investors etched out the monetary resources to make this project happen. The Cotton Mill Hotel project will go down in Madison's history as a testament to Mayor Damon Welch's commitment and dedication to the city that he loved. In fact, the project would not have happened if it wasn't for Mayor Welch and his administration. It's a perfect example of what happens when investors, state government, and city government work together. I look forward to this exciting times and the time ahead for Madison, and I appreciate being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to speak about this amazing, amazing project. Standing here, it's really unbelievable as we stand here and look at it. It's hard to put into words what this project means for Madison, but take a look around. All of you standing here, that shows what it means to Madison. This isn't 5 people standing around some dirt. This is Madison. This is what it means to our community. From the moment that Damon, Bob, and I walked into City Hall in 2012, this project was on our minds, as it's been on the minds of most Madison residents for years. We were always trying to find a way to make it happen. Previous administrations, previous city councils, mayors, many community members have worked to find a way to make this happen, but the timing was never right. But I'm really proud to say that thanks to Bob Cook, Nicole, our stellar designation, which was extremely important, Ron, the investment team, Vince Dora, our local elected officials, and all of you here today, the timing is right for this project. This building has sat empty for almost 30 years, and even when over the last few years, like Ron said, there were times that we were afraid that this partnership and this deal wouldn't happen. Not because both sides didn't want it to happen, just because of the realities of numbers and of finances just made it very difficult. But thanks to Ron and Damon's friendship, the hard work from all the team, and some just plain dogged determination, here we are. This project, along with many others that are in process right now, thanks to our stellar designation, will be a physical testament to what our community can do when we put our minds to it. Mayor Welch liked to call this a game changer for Madison. He used that phrase innumerable times over the last few years, and it most certainly is. It's a game changer for our riverfront. It's a game changer for our tourism, a game changer for our economy and our downtown, a game changer for our festivals, a game changer for our gateway into our community, and a game changer for our community's self-image and our image to the rest of the region. Damon was so looking forward to this day and to the day that it opened to the public, which is why I know he would want us here today turning dirt, even as we mourn his passing. But the bottom line is that the future of Madison, the future of this neighborhood, and the future of Madison residents who follow us will be bright, thanks to this project and all those who have worked to get us to this day. Thank you very much, and let's turn some dirt.
Thank you, Dan and Andrew. We will now proceed to the official turning of the dirt. The first group of participants will be the development group with the financial partners: John, Glenn, Ron, Vince, Andrew, Bob, Marty, and Trevor Lane, and Dan Datillo. The next group will be city officials: Katie, Rick, Derma, Jan, David, Daryl, Laura, D'Angelo. Group will be the TIF board members, the EDC board members, Matt Worth, and the county officials. We're having fun with the hats, can you tell? The next group will be the extended development group. So John, Glenn, Ron, Vince, Ratio, any other Dora people, Marty, Hope of Kentucky, any representatives of that entity. Next group will be the city staff team, Andrew, Bob, Matt, Tawana, with the development group, John, Glenn, Ron. And the final group will be our stellar team, Andrew, Matt, Carrie, Lindsay.
Andrew just did. It's too dry.
I should have mentioned also Monarch Capital, Rick Jukas. He's not here today, so hopefully he won't be offended, but I should mention him anyway. And one other person that was on my list who was an early counselor of mine, neighbor to you all, former Mayor Al Huntington, gave me good advice on politics. So I want to make sure I mention him.
That will conclude today's groundbreaking ceremony. Thank you everyone for coming.